I started to look at films like once I knew like at this point, right? We had the story written, we have this strong narrative element, all the pacing and everything. So I started to look at how some directors deal with lighting and decoration and set design to try to solve right the issues that I was just showing. If I'm gonna share my screen, and like a director that's a big influence for me is Fincher. Like the way he does lighting. Like use an example from Seven, and the muted color palette. Like it hit a lot of notes of what I was looking for about, you know. And he has a lot of like little lights here and there. And there's a timeless like this building is like Victorian era looking, but you don't know quite well the year and how some colors are muted, right? But then there's some bright spots that you can clearly where your eye gets driven into. So I was like, how can I apply some of these principles into my situation? Is another example, Gone Girl, where he has these small focused lights for to draw your eye into, where he has these small focal points, and everything is very soft, which I really like. And I think it would contrast well with the sharp concept brushstroke. Like hopefully it will feel like a painting in a way. So with that in mind, I started to slowly try to right go into each room and try to tweak them. So this is how the bathroom looked on that old prototype. Right, there's already some things I'm trying to do. Like there's a light here because there was a mirror in the bathroom for a long time. So trying to pay attention to the cabinet, get the light to focus here. So trying to see, like also each room to have its own personality based on the importance throughout the story. So this was early on where I was playing with all the elements before realizing, the walls, what's important is the floor. You see, like here the player, the most important element in the game is the one that reads the less. Like I'll be looking at the walls more than the room. So very quickly, everything that's not on the floor needs to be darker than what's inside. Here I was still playing with it, and then like eventually, oh, here we go. Now I have a frame made out of the tiles. Suddenly your eyes are drawn into the room. I can use it. And also, I don't know if you notice, a big change was also the camera field of view. Like by changing the FOV, we get a much bigger depth. Like the walls especially are very compressed in this version, and then they stand out more. And then right, like this was like my final test before we went into let me jump into Unity, into the final one, right, where not only I got the lighting to, like I got a bit stronger fall off around the lighting. You got the painterly brush strokes, and actually I'm gonna do and then mute some colors so that things will pop out naturally. And in this case, I also had to look into account how this would look in right when the lights are off. So in this case, like a strong blue light from the window that's gonna bounce off the door, and you can still see the shape. So for example, right in this version, like I quickly saw that if the toilet seat is wood, it helps pop out in the dark with the bright of the tiles, and it just reads better. Same with the bedroom. Like bedroom here is just like purely mechanical. You have a bed to sleep. You have the couch corner so that the wife doesn't see you if you're in the living room. You have the drawer. The other thing was, how do I make this feel like a realistic room without putting, like, there's no closet, there's a lot of things missing what a normal room would have. So first figuring out what colors the room would have. And then, so this was an asset store element. Like this is, for as long as I could, I would always go into the asset store, and there's one architectural visualization package. So I got a bed, I got a ton of elements, right? I changed the textures and the materials towards what I'm looking for, but it allows me to very quickly.
Are those the ones you used in the final game, or did
no.
you swap them out at the end?
Then we had a modeler do a custom version. Like for example, the issue with this one, right? If someone lays down, their body would crumple here on the corner. How the pillows are too up, and they're too realistic, right? I wanted this painterly look, so we ended up. So we modeled a realistic bed, and right once now here the colors were starting to come into place. But then right on the final version, we then stylized the folds so they feel like a painting. So there's a painterly aspect to it, but if I go into the normal look, right, they were actually modeled, and then like we kind of push the angles on it, so then the colors go along with it, and feels like, right, the albedo has this brushstroke look, and then everything all together kind of with lighting, I think, feels like brushstrokes, hopefully, that go along with the floor.